días en Argentina, buenas noches en Singapur, bienvenidos a este evento que hemos denominado Experiencias, Comercio Electrónico en el Sudeste Asiático, y que somos coorganizadores del mismo, el ICBC, Fundación y Banco, la Cámara del Asia y Cancillería Argentina, siendo speakers principales el equipo de Shopee. Pero igualmente no voy a presentar a ninguno de los oradores del día de hoy, lo hará mi colega Emma Fontanet del ICBC, pero antes de cederle la palabra, algunos comentarios sobre cómo proceder en esta plataforma. Esta plataforma tiene dos salas de chat, una que se llama chat propiamente dicha, que es para saludar, no para hacer promoción de las bonanzas de las empresas, simplemente es para saludar y mandar algún mensaje general. Y después tenemos una sala que se llama Q&A, o sea, question and answer, preguntas y respuestas, para las cuales le pedimos que vayan subiendo sus inquietudes, sus preguntas, en la medida que los oradores diserten. De este modo, al final, Gustavo Fassari, de Cancillería Argentina, va a elegir alguna de estas preguntas para elevar a los disertantes. Después, este evento se está llevando a cabo con interpretación simultánea en inglés y en español. Para escucharlo en alguno de estos idiomas, simplemente escojan dentro del icono interpretación, el canal de interpretación que ustedes pueden ver debajo de su pantalla, el idioma que ustedes quieran escuchar con esta disertación. Bueno, dicho esto, le cedo la palabra, como prometí, a la licenciada Emma Fontanet. Muchas gracias, que disfruten todo el evento.
Buenos días a todos y buenas noches en Singapur. Muchas gracias, Martín. Para nosotros es un placer poder trabajar este tipo de actividades en forma conjunta, tanto con la Cámara, con la Cancillería, con la Embajada Argentina en Singapur y en esta oportunidad con la empresa Shopee, a los cuales agradecemos mucho haber accedido a este encuentro. Y bueno, para iniciar con el programa, vamos a darle la palabra a Pablo Sibori, subsecretario de Promoción de Comercio e Inversiones de la Cancillería Argentina. ¿Estamos ahí?
No lo veo presente, Emma, por ahí tiene algún problema técnico.
Bueno, si le parece, embajador, ¿podemos seguir con usted hasta que se conecte Pablo? Bueno, para seguir con el orden del programa, le pasamos la palabra al embajador argentino en Singapur, Mauricio Nine. Muchísimas gracias, embajador.
Cómo no. Buenos días y buenas noches a todos y todas aquí en Singapur y allá en Argentina. Los saludo al señor subsecretario de Promoción del Comercio e Inversiones, embajador Pablo Sibori, que seguramente pronto estará con nosotros, a la señora subsecretaria de Negociaciones Económicas Multilaterales y Bilaterales, embajadora Carola Ramón, a los representantes de la Fundación ICBC, a la Cámara del Asia, a los representantes y amigos de Shopee Singapur, Rei Shin y Min Chan, y empresarios y empresarias argentinas aquí presentes. Quiero destacar y agradecer especialmente a mi Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores, Comercio Internacional y Culto, encabezado por el señor Canciller Santiago Cafiero, por poner el foco nuevamente en Singapur, como reflejo de lo que el Sudeste Asiático significa como presente y futuro de nuestras exportaciones. En esta ocasión, entiendo que al promover un webinar sobre el desarrollo del comercio electrónico en esta región, la Cancillería y su red de embajadas argentinas se están adaptando a un nuevo paradigma en nuestra labor de apoyo a los exportadores nacionales. Un nuevo paradigma que pone al consumidor final de los mercados externos en el foco de la estrategia, a través de los nuevos canales de comercialización desarrollados a la par de las nuevas tecnologías. Hasta no hace mucho tiempo, nuestros esfuerzos pasaban principalmente por llevar a cabo negociaciones para abrir nuevos mercados e interesar a los importadores de cada mercado extranjero en adquirir productos y servicios nacionales. Estos objetivos, desde luego, siguen vigentes, pero las nuevas tecnologías y fundamentalmente el avance del consumo en redes sociales y plataformas de e-commerce, así como su impacto e influencia en el reconocimiento y posicionamiento de los productos, nos obligan crecientemente a relacionarnos y conocer más en profundidad a los usuarios finales, quienes precisan cada vez menos de intermediarios para decidir sus compras. En ese mismo sentido, Los últimos 2 años de pandemia y las restricciones de movimiento que han debido ser implementadas por los distintos gobiernos alrededor del mundo para enfrentarla, llevaron a Singapur y a la Argentina a compartir, coincidentemente cada uno en su región, el liderazgo internacional en el ranking de países donde más creció el comercio electrónico entre sus consumidores locales. En este contexto, Shopee se ha convertido en la empresa singapurense líder en esta región en materia de marketing online y marketplaces, por lo que estoy seguro de que su experiencia nos será muy útil para analizar estrategias futuras de penetración en este apasionante mercado. En dicho camino, la Embajada Argentina en Singapur queda a completa disposición de todos ustedes para acompañarlos con nuestra experiencia en el terreno, nuestras redes de contactos comerciales en permanente desarrollo y nuestro trabajo, siempre bajo la coordinación de las autoridades económicas y comerciales de nuestra Cancillería hoy aquí presentes. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, embajador, por sus palabras, su intervención. Y bueno, queremos destacar que hemos tenido muy buenas experiencias con este tipo de eventos y seminarios, y probablemente muchas de las empresas, y quizás algunas que no han podido participar, después tomen contacto con la embajada, con ustedes, con la Cancillería, para ver cómo pueden seguir con esta iniciativa. Y bueno, y siempre decimos que esto es muy importante porque le ponemos cara a los mails, le ponemos cara a las actividades, sabemos quién está del otro lado, y más en un mercado como es Singapur, un destino como es Singapur, que nos queda muy distante y todavía hay muchas cuestiones por explorar. Muchísimas gracias de nuevo por su participación, y para continuar con la exposición, le damos la palabra a Ray Chin, Lifestyle Brand Acquisition Lead, y a Min Chan, Retail Acquisition Lead de la empresa Shopping.
Hola, buenos días, everyone. Very nice to meet all of you. Good morning. I think before we begin, I just want to say a few words. And I think the very first thing that I want to do is actually just to take some time to thank the organizers of the event. So on behalf of Shopee, we do want to thank the Argentine Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We do want to thank the Chamber of Commerce as well, and also the Embassy of Argentine in Singapore as well, alongside also to ICBC, as well as ICBC Foundation, as well as any other organizers of the event. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share and have some time together with you guys. I think before I begin, I would just like to catch a little bit on what Emma mentioned earlier, that yes, Singapore, we are quite a few thousand kilometers away, but today, because of online social networking sites, e-commerce as well, we are in a time where we are all the more connected than we have ever been than the last century. So in that regard, it brings me immense pleasure to share a little bit about who we are and what we do. And so without further ado, allow me to just introduce ourselves. So thanks for the introduction earlier, Emma. So my name is Ray, and I do lead lifestyle brand acquisitions in Shopee Singapore. I do have alongside with me Min Chan, and she looks after retail or supermarket acquisition. So these terms might be a little bit foreign to you, and that's okay. We will take some time to go through with you guys in a bit. So to share and give an introduction about who and what Shopee is, we are in essence the leading e-commerce platform within Southeast Asia. We are primarily a platform that looks towards partnering with different partners and merchants in bringing products and even services as well to local consumers. As an online marketplace, we have incredible online traffic, and we do give a lot of opportunities for brand partners to interact with buyers or users in itself. For Shopee, we are primarily a mobile-first platform, and what that basically means is that essentially most of our users, they tend to go online via the mobile app to look for the items, to search, and subsequently make transactions directly on the mobile rather than via a PC or online desktop. Yeah, and so particularly, I think we talked a little bit about how COVID-19 has disrupted, consumers' behavior in terms of shopping. And so with e-commerce, what we're starting to see quite a bit is that e-commerce growth will eventually outpace offline growth by approximately 4.6 times. So in terms of expanding and exploring different sales channels internationally, I do think that we would be a very good partner to partner with you guys and achieve the different ambitions that you might have. So just to give an introduction about Shopee, we are part of the C group of companies, which is a listed entity within the New York Stock Exchange. We do have 3 business arms, so not just the online marketplace, but 2 other business arms, including Garena, which is our gaming or digital entertainment arm. We also have C-Money, which is basically our e-wallet. So Shopee, together with the C group of companies, it's an entire ecosystem, and we do bring a lot of value to the region and even to our different business partners. Specific to Shopee, we are a leader in the Southeast Asia region. So we are present in not just Singapore, but we are also present in Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, even Vietnam, and also recently Brazil as well. We do see very strong growth, which I think we're very, very proud of. We do have in 2020 in itself, $35 billion in terms of annual GMV, which is basically online revenue. And we also see quite a bit of strong orders, and that's approximately 2.8 billion in terms of gross orders for 2020. So in terms of the most recent performance that we've seen, about 1.4 billion when it comes to orders, and also on online revenue, 15 billion. So you can see that this figure, just in Q2 alone, outpaces that of the full year in 2020. So we are really seeing very good performance, and I think it's only going to go from strength to strength and go upwards from here. So when you look at an online application, you're not just only looking at their performance, of course, in hard numbers, but you also want to be partnering with a partner that has consistently done well. And I think very proud and happy to say that for Shopee Singapore, we have consistently been performing in the top of the charts when it comes to Apple Play Store and even the Android store itself. So consistently, we do see a very strong mindshare dominance in that regard. So not just in terms of online downloads, but we are also very strong when it comes to daily average users, or what we call online traffic. So consistently from year on year, month on month, quarter to quarter, we do see our strength being maintained when it comes to comparisons with the competitors within the Southeast Asia region. In terms of customer demographic, we do see primarily about 60% to 70% of our users being in the millennials, or rather the 18 to 35-year-old range. And I think that pretty much speaks to the way that we are as a mobile-first platform. And so it's really a place where we are very poised to capturing these markets and these demographics. Across the region, we are primarily leaning more towards females. But that said, in Singapore market alone, this percentage is pretty much even. So moving on to something a little bit more tangible, which is how our partners can partner with us and start working on a commercial level. We do have 2 different models, and I think this is really just positioned to see where your ambitions are and what are your operational requirements. For the very first model, we do have what we call Shopee Supermarket. So this is our own in-house supermarket or retail model, where we basically work with brand partners, manufacturers, in bringing in your products, pretty much like a buyer-supplier relationship. So we would basically be buying your products at wholesale price. And to our Argentine partners, you will be basically our suppliers. So there are a few things to take note here. So when it comes to inventory, essentially, our partners are supplying or selling to us directly. And this method can be either through exports, or you can work with local distributors, and then we can bring these products into Singapore. On the other hand, we also do have a few other value-added solutions. So when it comes to managing online listings, whether is it getting the goods or the products from the consumer, from the warehouse to the consumer, we do provide that last mile delivery support. And also, most importantly, I think this is an important consideration to you guys, is what are the rates basically? And for Shopee Supermarket, because we work on a buyer-supplier relationship, that in essence is something that is very much negotiable and flexible for conversations. Now, moving on is the Shopee Mall model. So the Shopee Mall model, in essence, is where a brand can set up their own official store on Shopee. So very much like having your own online store, but within an online marketplace. So that is where Shopee Mall comes in. We basically provide with our users with a whole bunch of marketing resources and initiatives and support, and we will go through that later. But I think going on the few things to take note of, the very first thing is that for Shopee Mall brands, they would in essence need to maintain the inventory. So in this regard, you're either going to be partnering with a local distributor or what we call a third-party agent or an enabler to store your goods within Singapore. For store management, because in the Shopee Mall model, brands are managing their own online store. They can communicate with users and engage with them. And so in that regard, there is a need to manage the online store. So for this, either partnering or working with the local distributor or the enabler or third-party agent to manage your store would be an important consideration. And finally, when it comes to delivery, we do have a number of third-party logistic partners who you can partner with just to get your products to the consumer. For rates-wise, I think this one is pretty much standardized across the board for all merchants, and that's between 2 to 5%. So this, in essence, would give a very overview perspective of the different models that we have. I will now pass the time over to Minshan, who will take you guys through a little bit more about Model A. Yeah, so over to you, Minshan.
Thank you so much, Ray, for bringing us through the introduction to Shopee. Now, let me take you through an overview of Shopee Supermarket. We are Shopee's official supermarket, and we offer a one-stop shop experience for grocery shopping on the Shopee app. We have over 30,000 products listed on our platform and a growing follower base of more than 400,000 users. So on this retail model, we provide high-impact brand exposure on the platform for our partners. And then for our customers, reliable delivery service from our very own logistic partner, our very own delivery fleet, Shopee Express. So moving on, for our brands, we also offer various marketing tools to drive high traffic and conversions. So here are some examples of the banner features, such as the carousel banner, and also our very popular flash deal slots available on our Shopee Supermarket platform. Now, deep diving a little bit more, a key pillar to our strategy is to offer a wide range of international assortment, also known as global delights. So here are some examples of the products and the countries we feature on the supermarket platform. And we definitely hope to work with our Argentine friends to bring your brands on board Shopee Supermarket Singapore. So for example, we could work on the outright purchase retail model. So here is how it works. We would, like Ray mentioned, we would purchase from the brand or the suppliers directly. Shopee Supermarket will then handle the whole retail operations, and that includes listing management, customer service, warehousing, and also last mile delivery. We will also work closely on the marketing aspect to make sure we build your brand further and grow your sales on Shopee Supermarket platform. So with this, I've touched briefly on Shopee Supermarket Singapore and the potential ways we could work together. Do let us know your interests, and we could definitely kickstart discussions accordingly. So now passing the time back to Ray. Thank you.
Thanks, Minshan. So moving on to Model B, I think the key difference for Shopee Supermarket is where Shopee Supermarket will basically take charge of everything. We will take care of the warehousing, we will take care of the listing management, we will even take care of the deliveries. So in a way, sell your products to us, and we'll take it, and then we will manage basically the end-to-end, I guess, pipeline or process. Pivoting away from that is Shopee Mall, and that is our online marketplace model. As I mentioned earlier, this is really the model where brands would set up their own online store, And in essence, leveraging on Shopee's very, very strong monthly traffic, and we're looking at approximately 11 million per month. We do have a suite of marketing tools at your disposal, whether it's in-app or out-of-app support. We can be that marketing agency to help you achieve those goals. We talked a little bit about third-party operations. And so whether it's partnering or linking you guys up with regional enablers, we can support you in that. And at the same time, we can also link you guys up with the various last mile delivery partners, which we're more than happy to do so. So to just give a very broad view about what the commitments are required for a Shopee Mall partner, in essence, for Shopee Mall, number one, the brand would in essence operate the standalone official shop. It can be a case where the brand is the one managing it, or you are engaging a third party like a local distributor or an enabler to do that management for you. At the same time, because the brand is managing an online store, you also do want to engage in certain engagement tactics or tools. So particularly for an official store model, you do want to communicate certain brand stories. You want to build up your brand equity. You want to raise the brand awareness of your particular brand. But also at the same time, maybe you want to shout out a little bit about your best sellers, right? Which is point 3, which is you can actually showcase the list of items that are very, very hot and very, very well selling, right? So these are items that and things that you can engage with Shopee Mall on. We can help you as a partner, and we do give different tools and features within the platform to dress up your store, to communicate these brand stories and I guess items that you want to communicate and bring across to your users and your customers. So here are some examples of the different marketing tools at your disposal as an official shop. Partners can do a brand launch, which is here a super brand day or a grand store launch. If let's say you have an exclusive new item that you think is going to sell well, really well with customers, you can also do things like a product launch. If you're looking towards capturing more eyeballs, you want to capture a little bit more brand awareness, you can engage also with us on seller advertisements. And these are basically what we call out of site or out of platform advertisements, where we can basically be your agency in helping you run Facebook, Google, or even Instagram ads for you without any commissions. We also have paid ads, and this is quite similar to in-platform advertisements. The cashback program, it's a whole other world in itself, but just touching on it really quickly, it's a very key, I guess, marketing tool that is unique to Shopee, because users, when they shop, they want to get certain forms of rebates or cashbacks. And so when they shop with participating merchants, they can get all these rebates and they can use these rebates to offset their next purchase. So a very, very interesting and very, very engaging tool to bring in repeat customers as well. So here's the next case example that we have. We did partner with Melissa, a brand within, I think, which you guys should be pretty familiar in the Latin America market. They are basically one of the key brands that we've been partnering with. So they did engage with us on a strategic brand level. They did push out the exclusive launch of this VT21 collection. And so they engaged with the different activations that I shared a little bit earlier about product launches, brand launches. But what's specific to them is this thing called Shopee Livestream. So in Livestream, it's a very interesting and engaging way where users can engage with the host in real time to find out more information about a product or even more information about the brand itself. So very, very interesting engagement tool. In terms of promotions, Shopee, we do support different features. So not just discount promotions, but if you're talking about things like add-on deals, I think these specific to this is things like complementary products. So for Melissa, it can be socks together with footwear. If you're in the food business, it can be gin and tonic, for example. But in essence, we do have a whole suite of marketing tools at your disposal. So specific to Melissa, I think for the full year result, they did see a very strong growth. They did amass 34,000 store followers, 5 times uplift in terms of online revenue as well as orders. So very, very interesting and very, very fruitful results garnered here. So what are the next steps, basically? So I think we will break it down into 2 phases. The very first phase, if you're interested in Shopee Mall, would be to explore Shopee Singapore as a proof of concept. So for this, if you have a local distributor within Singapore, I think that would basically accelerate a lot of these partnership plans, and can just straight away partner with your local distributor to set up an online store within Singapore. But let's say you don't have that local distributor, or you have not worked with anyone yet in Singapore. What we could do is to actually link you guys up with enablers, and thereby the brand and or the business would just have to negotiate on the commercial terms, and subsequently we can work together with the brand or the business as well as these local third-party enablers to get you guys to set up your store on Shopee Singapore, and we can be a partner in assisting you with that. And once we've identified that maybe Singapore is a proof of concept, it works, and you want to explore other markets, we would also be happy to link you guys up with our regional or other market counterparts. Yeah. So I think this, in essence, would encapsulate our sharing of Shopee, the different models that we have, the supermarket, as well as the Shopee Mall model. Again, on behalf of the team, we do thank everyone for tuning in, and we'll be more than happy to, I guess, open the floor for any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you very much for this presentation. And yes, we do have some questions that just have been received. I will formulate them in Spanish for the audience, and you would have the translation. Las primeras preguntas que recibimos serían: ¿cuáles serían los primeros pasos para las compañías argentinas se asocien con Shopee en el año 2022?
Cool. So let me take that. I think that's actually a very heartening question. I think that the first thing is that to share is not clear enough. We are very, very excited to work with the different Argentine businesses, and so in that regard, if you already have local existing distributors or partners or sales channels, we'll be more than happy to get in touch with them to get the partnership started. And so I think to share as well, we have and also are very excited to work with you guys on different events or collaborations. And of course, that really depends on if we have sufficient interest garnered. So I would encourage, after this webinar and also with the embassy's help, to link us all up together, and then we can potentially explore this conversation forward. A very, very good question, and very heartened to hear that.
Thank you very much, Ray. Another question, I will also continue in Spanish. Otra pregunta que hemos recibido es, ¿cómo pueden las empresas de Argentina participar en otros mercados de la región a través de Shopee?
Yeah, that's also a very heartening question. So I would first start by saying that Shopee as a platform, we are a very hyper-localized business. So what that means is that in every single market, we have a dedicated team. And I think that really is placed to our strengths in that we know and we understand the local tastes and preferences. So specific to that question, if you're exploring the different Southeast Asia markets, we would be happy to link you guys up with the respective regional counterparts that we have. And so I think in this regard also, we would be working together with the embassy to identify your interest, and we would subsequently link you up with the respective regional counterparts in Shopee as well. Yeah.
Muchas gracias, Ray. Una pregunta adicional es si podrías darnos una idea de cuáles son los costos asociados para lo que serían las empresas argentinas que quisieran participar del marketplace de Shopee.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. I realized we also didn't really go through specifically on the Argentine, on the marketplace model when it comes to the commercial terms. So I think it's also good that I've come up with an annex really quickly. And again, I think for those of you present in this call, we would be sharing the slides over to the embassy for for dissemination. So you would also have a copy of these slides. In essence, to give a very quick overview, this is a summary table of the cost in onboarding onto the Shopee marketplace or Shopee mall model. The first that I'll share is just transaction fee, and this is basically just the gateway or the payment gateway fee via MasterCard, Visa, the payment partners basically. So that will be a 2%. For commission fees, this is the fees that go to Shopee, and so that's about a 5%. While you see there is a 0.35% or a 0.14%, that just is in relation to our local goods and services tax. And I think that would, in essence, encapsulate the cost of just functioning on the platform. But if you're talking about physical goods, then you also do have to consider getting the goods delivered from the local warehouse to the hands of the consumer. So in that regard, then that would come the last mile or delivery fees. And that would basically start from as low as $1 in Singapore dollars. And depending on if you are selling maybe chilled meats, for example, then that cost would grow to $2. We talked a little bit about the cashback program, but it's just that for your information, it starts at 3% as additional marketing cost. So that would, in essence, encapsulate the cost of running a business on the Shopee mall model. To take through very quickly, also on behalf of Minshan, for the supermarket model, is if you are considering, and let me just jump to that slide really quickly. So if you are considering in supplying your products to our local Shopee supermarket model, there is, in essence, no cost. What I would say here is then we operate primarily on a margins basis. So if the cost of your products is, let's say, $10, and the retail selling price of that product is maybe $50. Let's say you have a Malbec wine, for example. Yeah. So then the difference of $50 to $10 of that $40 variation, that would basically be the margins. And so in essence, that is basically the cost that we would draw from partnering with you. Apart from this, there is no real cost apart from things like what we call trading terms. But this is something that is definitely negotiable. So on the very upfront, there is no fixed cost in partnering with Shopee in that regard. Yeah.
Muchas gracias, Rey. Unas últimas preguntas es, ¿podrían ustedes darnos algún detalle de las experiencias que han tenido en Brasil? Tenemos entendido que abrieron ahora, están abriendo operaciones en Brasil el año pasado, y un poco cuál es la experiencia que ha tenido Shopee en comenzar a operar con Brasil, y si tienen planes para comenzar a operar en la Argentina en algún futuro. Muchas gracias.
Cool. Thanks for the question. Unfortunately, Shopee is a pretty big organization. For Shopee, because we are focused on individual country markets, so I can really only speak for Shopee Singapore. What I do have to say is that if there are local Argentine businesses that are interested in partnering with us on a local country level, I think what we can do is that, again, do reach out to us through the embassy, and I think we would get in touch with you offline specific to these. Specific to the experience in Brazil, I unfortunately also don't have much experience because I haven't really interfaced or discussed with the partners there. What I would say is that specific to Shopee Brazil, it is a very interesting market, and we do see quite a bit of growth. I would be also sharing a little bit about where, for me, as a representative from the Shopee Singapore team, if you guys are looking to explore and expanding outside of the Latin American markets, Southeast Asia is a very interesting region and landscape for that matter. And also similar to what Minshan shared earlier, we do see a very strong demand, a very strong growth for global delights and international assortment. So when it comes to Shopee Singapore and even potentially the other Southeast Asia markets, there is going to be a very strong interest, particularly because right now people can't really get out of their homes and shop. So I think your products would be poised to actually do very well. Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, I can't really give much insights on that. But we'll be more than happy to circle back offline. If anyone's interested in finding out more about Brazil or even Argentina, we'll be more than happy to share more information offline.
Una pregunta adicional, Rey o Min. En el caso de que una empresa argentina esté interesada en explorar el mercado de Singapur o el mercado regional y no tengan un distribuidor o importador de sus productos en Singapur, ¿ustedes tienen algún tipo de programa de colaboración en ese caso? Muchísimas gracias.
Very good question, and I do have to share also that when we speak with different brands, again, not just within the Latin American market, but with our partners in the US, partners in Japan, Korea, and even Australia and New Zealand as well, this is actually the number one question that they have. So it's not something new to us. I think in that regard, we'll be more than happy to get in touch and link you guys up or the respective businesses with our local enablers and local distributors, just so that, even if, ideally you would work with Shopee, but, Shopee is but one of the different sales channels in Singapore. There are also offline supermarkets. There are also other online platforms as well, which you can also leverage on these third-party local agents to distribute your products. So we'll be more than happy to play that role in facilitating the discussions, and we'll be more than happy to link you guys up with the respective agents or local distributors, or even what we call enabler partners to help you in that journey.
Una pregunta de Patricia Sassaroli, si tienen disponibilidad de recibir productos orgánicos y o ecológicos en su plataforma.
Very good question. For this, I would maybe give the floor over to Minshan to share a little bit about the supermarket model, and then maybe I can cover a little bit on the Shopee Mall model.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. So for the organic products, there are a couple of factors we need to take into consideration, and that includes the shelf life. So this shelf life is very important for us to take note of. So because this will include the importing time from all over to Singapore. So only after we check the shelf life is all right, then we can see the feasibility to do the imports if needed. So that is for the importing side. And then, of course, on the other hand, if you do have a local distributor for your products in Singapore, we could work with them offline to check on the different factors before deciding if we can bring them on board Shopee Supermarket. Yeah, hope that clarifies. Thank you.
Y la última pregunta que tengo, realmente desconozco esta pregunta, pero Patricio Cosio pregunta si hacen live shopping.
Sorry, just so that I caught it correctly, live shopping, is that right to? Okay.
Yes, it says live shopping. I don't know whether that is a terminology used on e-commerce.
Yeah, Cool. No, it is correct, Gustavo. So I think specific to so live shopping is more like a short form of what we call live streaming. In essence, live streaming is where for those of you who are familiar with Facebook Live, for example, or Twitch, where someone places a video in front of them and they are broadcasting in real time. And in essence, they can basically, or the host or the person speaking in front of the camera is in essence selling products in real time. For Shopee, and even in our different regional markets as well, live streaming is actually very, very popular as an online tool. We do see for brands, it is a very, very strong engagement tool, and mainly because it helps build a lot of brand awareness. It also helps build a lot of, it helps build a lot of ways to communicate with consumers and users your brand story. So a very, very important tool, and we do support that. What I do have to say is that particularly for general live streamings, you just want to make sure that you have interesting products to talk about. You also do have to think about the different mechanics when it comes to it. So are you offering any discounts? Are you offering any gifts with purchase? I think these are very important considerations to have. And you also do need to identify a good host to conduct these live streamings. But long story short, yes, we do support it, and we do encourage a lot of our brand partners to do this as well. So yeah, if the brands are, if you have a host of yourself from the brand, you can leverage on them. But if you are looking for an external host, we do also have different talents which you can leverage on to support you in this direction or initiative of yours. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Ray, Chin, and Min. Sean, I do not have any more questions. I will pass then to Emma Fontanet. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Ray y Min, por la información y por la presentación. Fue muy específica, clara, este punto que mencionaban recién con respecto a los costos, a cómo operar, las oportunidades que ofrece la plataforma, no solo para Singapur, que ya de por sí es un país muy atractivo para nosotros, sino también para otros países de la región, ¿no? Pensar en tener esta herramienta para ingresar en otros países de la región, creo que hace también muy atractivo la posibilidad de poder trabajar en forma conjunta. Sin lugar a dudas, nosotros siempre recomendamos con ustedes que todos estos contactos se hagan a través de la Embajada Argentina, que son, digamos, quienes nuclean, conocen las empresas y también conocen el territorio, y eso también nos facilita un poco la comunicación, ¿no? Que en el día a día también es compleja por la diferencia horaria, quizás a veces por el desconocimiento. Entonces creo que acá, como en muchas de las actividades que organizamos, en este último año, se abre una puerta para realizar un trabajo en conjunto que desde ya que nosotros desde la Fundación y desde el Banco, desde la Cámara, estamos a total disposición de la Cancillería y de la Embajada para poder colaborar y trabajar con empresas argentinas que estén, digamos, que tengan la posibilidad de ingresar a Singapur a través de la plataforma que ustedes tienen. Y otro punto importante de una de las preguntas que hacía Gustavo, que quería destacar, creo que es muy interesante esta posibilidad que ustedes nos brindan de tener contacto con posibles importadores o posibles distribuidores que quizás trabajan actualmente con productos importados, con productos latinoamericanos, que pueden tener interés o un potencial interés en productos argentinos, porque es fundamental tener en cuenta que la mercadería, digamos, que el producto tiene que estar en Singapur para poder comercializarse, y a través de estos hubs, plataformas, distribuidores, hace que esta intención se lleve a la realidad, ¿no? Y el tema logístico para nosotros también es muy importante, fundamental, y a través de estas empresas o estructuras, este es uno de los principales servicios a los cuales se puede acceder, y que las empresas realmente pueden tener un acceso concreto y real al mercado de Singapur y del Sudeste Asiático. Bueno, para el cierre de este encuentro, nuevamente muchísimas gracias. Martín, si te parece, no sé si vos querés agregar algo más con respecto a alguna reflexión de las presentaciones que hicieron Ray y Min.
Hola Emma, bueno, muchísimas gracias por la palabra. No, simplemente decir que ha sido muy útil para los asociados de ambas entidades y clientes del banco, realmente es muy fructífero y vamos a comunicarnos con ustedes. Acá en Argentina hay una empresa de streaming live shopping que es la primera en Latinoamérica, así que está muy interesada, creo que fueron ellos los que hicieron estas consultas, así que están muy interesados en contactarse con ustedes. Si te parece, Emma, ¿querés pasarle la palabra al embajador Justo?
Perfecto. Bueno, gracias Martín. Bueno, para el cierre de este encuentro, le pasamos la palabra al embajador Marcelo Justo, director nacional de Relaciones Económicas Bilaterales de la Cancillería Argentina. Embajador.
Muchas gracias a todos por participar en este webinar que nos permitió conocer las experiencias de empresas como Shopee, que lidera las cadenas de comercio electrónico de la ASEAN y que lograron una fuerte presencia en los principales mercados del Sudeste Asiático. Desde nuestra área, desde la Subsecretaría de Negociaciones Económicas Multilaterales y Bilaterales de la Cancillería, estamos impulsando la apertura de nuevos mercados. Esa es una de nuestras tareas específicas, y la profundización y la diversificación de los existentes, y la región del Sudeste Asiático para nosotros es muy especial porque tiene la importancia de su dinamismo, de su crecimiento sostenido, de un interés también por nuestros productos que se ve manifestado en el comercio. Permítame compartir algunas cifras del comercio con el Sudeste Asiático y en particular con la región de los países que integran el ASEAN. Entre los meses de enero a octubre de este año, del 2021, el comercio tuvo un superávit de 3.150 millones de dólares y fue el de mayor magnitud entre los registrados con los diferentes países y bloques económicos con los que nosotros mantenemos un intercambio. Las exportaciones fueron de más de 6.300 millones de dólares, lo que representó un aumento de 1.100 millones respecto al igual periodo del 2020, que si bien sabemos todos que fue un periodo de circunstancias muy particulares, sin embargo, nuestro comercio en el 2020 se mantuvo bastante estable con la región. Esto hace que las cifras sean más que prometedoras, porque del total de exportaciones argentinas al mundo entre enero y octubre del 2021, que nuestro total fue de 65.140 millones, un poco más de eso, una cifra muy importante para nosotros que no la alcanzábamos desde hace muchos años. El ASEAN representó el 9.7% de esa cifra. Entre los miembros del ASEAN se destaca especialmente Vietnam, que mantuvimos un superávit comercial de 2.753 millones de dólares, que absorbió el 43%, un poquito más del 43% de los despachos al bloque, constituyéndose en el sexto socio comercial. Vietnam es nuestro sexto socio comercial. Todos estos datos, y sin querer apabullarlos con cifras, pero alientan nuestro trabajo y nos muestran que, a pesar de los desafíos que tenemos que hacer frente con esta situación particular que ha generado la erupción del COVID, el ASEAN abre grandes oportunidades para nuestro país, para nuestras exportaciones, para nuestras empresas y en particular para las pymes, que creo que todo esto tiene como objetivo alentar a las pymes a que tengan mayor presencia internacional. Por eso hemos trabajado y los estamos haciendo para favorecer las condiciones de acceso de nuestros productos a estos mercados. Y como un ejemplo, les comento que hace pocas semanas atrás firmamos un MOU sobre certificación halal con Indonesia, que nos abre toda una serie de oportunidades que vale la pena tener en cuenta cuando estamos pensando en salir al exterior, cuando como pymes estamos pensando en nuestras salidas. En esta línea nosotros trabajamos también con la Subsecretaría de Promoción de Comercio e Inversiones y con la Agencia de Promoción de Comercio e Inversiones para tratar de alentar la participación en ferias, en distintos tipos de misiones, y acá destaco que hemos tenido un trabajo fantástico con el ICBC y les agradecemos, muchas gracias, porque siempre están apoyándonos en nuestras acciones. Como un paréntesis, y no quiero dejar de mencionar, nosotros estamos impulsando unas mesas de trabajo, y lo digo porque en este caso la mesa ASEAN con Gustavo Fasari, que gracias Gustavo por la organización de todo esto en conjunto con los que te han soportado en el desoporte durante estas semanas para organizar esto. Las mesas que funcionan, entre estas está la de la ASEAN, que es están concebidas como un espacio de intercambio, de propulsión de ideas que nos permitan cimentar y fortalecer la presencia argentina, particularmente en el ASEAN, tratando de tener en cuenta todas las experiencias de quienes ya trabajan ahí, las experiencias de empresas, de conglomerados como Shopee, que sin duda son muy valiosos y son muy importantes. Como pudimos apreciar, Shopee es un excelentísimo ejemplo. Hemos quedado muy apabullados por las cifras y por todos los instrumentos con los que cuentan, muy innovadores desde ya, muy dinámicos, que muestran un poco el espíritu de Singapur también. Son unos muy buenos, excelentes representantes de Singapur, ese estado que tiene en el que la modernidad se ha hecho carne, y Shopee es un buen ejemplo de eso, y es un ejemplo también como una plataforma para canalizar la venta de productos argentinos y para penetrar no solamente en Singapur, sino en toda la región, y agradezco muy especialmente la excelente disposición de Ray Chin y de Chow Min Chan, que han dado una ilustrativa presentación de toda la potencialidad que representa su empresa, y que amablemente nos dieron un panorama de su trabajo y de la operatoria también, cómo funciona este sistema que para nosotros es muchas veces desconocido. Para terminar, quiero resaltar que más allá de que reconocemos la centralidad de nuestras exportaciones tradicionales, buscamos impulsar la diversificación de nuestra oferta exportable y aprendiendo de las experiencias de quienes ya han incursionado en esos mercados, favoreciendo sobre todo el agregado de valor, la integración en las cadenas también de valor, digamos, con innovación, con nuevos productos y también con nuevos servicios. Y un ejemplo de esto es la tarea que estamos llevando adelante con sectores que por supuesto ya tienen una presencia internacional importante, pero que nosotros queremos seguir impulsando, que son sectores como el farmacéutico o el segmento de las empresas ligadas a la economía del conocimiento, que representan un nicho muy importante de nuestras exportaciones. Con especial énfasis en este sentido, queremos favorecer la integración de nuestras pymes, que somos muy conscientes del rol central que cumplen las pymes como motor de la economía, como generadores de empleo, muchas veces con mucho esfuerzo. El esfuerzo de las pymes siempre hay que aplaudirlo, y con este espíritu es que celebramos la realización de este webinar para difundir estas plataformas de comercio electrónico y las herramientas que están hoy en día a disposición para insertarse en estos mercados, que son mercados muy competitivos, son mercados complejos, son mercados con un grado de, digamos, de exquisitez que es importante tenerlo en cuenta a la hora de acercarnos para satisfacer sus necesidades. Y agradecemos muy especialmente a la Cámara del Asia y a la Fundación ICBC, que siempre, como decía antes, ambos, porque con la Cámara del Asia también hemos realizado otras actividades. Muchas gracias, porque es una manera muy concreta de llegar a nuestra gente, de llegar a los interesados. Y también, por supuesto, nuestro agradecimiento a la Embajada en Singapur, que nos ayudó enormemente en todos estos contactos, y muchas gracias, Mauricio, por el trabajo de ustedes y por el equipo, y esperemos que podamos seguir trabajando juntos, y estamos a disposición, como siempre, de ustedes, ojalá que para una Argentina mucho mejor. Gracias, que tengan un muy buen día, y muy buenas noches en Singapur.
Muchas gracias a todos, muchas gracias, embajador, por sus palabras, y bueno, como dijimos, este es el inicio seguramente de futuras actividades que vamos a estar desarrollando juntos. Que tengan buenos días.
Emma,
Martín.
¿Te gustaría que aplaudamos a los expositores y a todos los presentes aquí?
Sí. Muchísimas gracias a todos, un placer.
Muchas
Buena
gracias.
jornada. Hasta luego.
Thank you.